She laughed the way she once laughed with me. That was what landed first. Not their fingers, not the way they leaned toward each other, but that familiar sound, easy and unguarded. I was idling at a red light across town, irritated about running late and realizing I'd left my charger at home, when I noticed them through the cafe window. My wife sat at a corner table, body angled forward, her hand laced with a man I recognized instantly, her supervisor. There was no rush in them, no furtive glances, no sense of wrongdoing. Just ease. And in that suspended second, something inside me sealed shut so cleanly that turning the car around felt simpler than taking another breath. My name is David. I was 44 then, working as a commercial insurance adjuster in Phoenix. My job was to assess damage, fires, floods, collisions, to decide what could be salvaged and what needed to be declared a total loss. I didn't realize I was about to make that determination in my own life. Natalie and I had been married for 15 years. Our kids were old enough to stay out late with friends. The mortgage was halfway gone. From the outside, our life looked complete. But she'd been pulling away for months. Later evenings, new clothes, a sudden devotion to the gym, work dinners that stretched long past dessert. When I mentioned it, she told me I was overthinking. I wanted to be the kind of man who trusted. That afternoon, a client canceled on me last minute. I drove across town anyway, and decided to grab a coffee before heading back. That's when I saw them. Natalie's back was to the glass. She tucked her hair behind her ear in that small, unconscious way she did only when she felt at ease. The man across from her reached out, not fast, not tentative, and took her hand. She didn't flinch. She squeezed his fingers in return. I stayed in the car. 10 seconds, maybe less. It was enough. I didn't march inside. I didn't document anything. I didn't shout her name like someone pleading for a scene. I made a U-turn and drove home. Halfway there, my phone buzzed. Running late. Don't wait for dinner. I almost smiled at the precision of it. When I walked into the house, it felt altered. Not empty, just exposed, like I'd finally noticed a constant draft. I poured water, sat at the table, and thought about all the times I'd chosen trust over instinct because it felt more grown-up. I thought about when she'd stopped reaching for my hand. I said nothing that night. When she came in, she kissed my cheek, asked about work, complained about something at the office. I listened quietly. Knowing the truth gave me a strange calm. The next morning, I called an attorney. I opened a new account, rerouted my paycheck, gathered paperwork without urgency or anger. Not out of revenge, out of clarity. Clear decisions don't need spectacle. 2 days later, I asked her to sit with me. Natalie, I said steady. I saw you. Her expression shifted instantly. Where? She asked, already aware. At the cafe. With your boss. Holding hands. She tried to speak. Stopped. Tried again. It's not. I lifted my hand, not sharply, just enough. Please don't. The quiet stretched. How long? I asked. She looked away. A few months. I nodded. I'm leaving. Her head snapped up. What? David, no. We can fix this. Counseling. I met her eyes fully then. You already used those conversations. Just not with me. She cried. Apologized. Said she was lost. Said it didn't matter. I believe you, I said. That's the problem. It mattered enough for you to stop choosing me. I moved into a furnished apartment near my office that same week. I told the kids carefully without assigning blame. Natalie kept reaching out for months. Messages about memories, forgiveness, how she missed us. But there was nothing left to return to. I had seen the truth plainly, and I respected myself enough to respond to it. Years later, I still drive past that cafe sometimes. I don't slow down. This is what I learned. You don't always need a mountain of evidence to walk away. Sometimes a single quiet moment tells you everything. And dignity doesn't debate.